Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Super interesting topic when people are talking about early extension and how that becomes almost like a paralyzing thing for a player when they think that they're early extending. I just wanted to give you a little bit more clarity on what I think about when it comes to extension and how we can sort of reframe that idea to make it a positive versus a negative, okay? So if I see someone that's really trying to minimize early extension, one, it's gonna kill energy, and two, it's gonna really restrict motion. So usually when I see that, I see a player coming in and it just looks like they're frozen sort of from the waist down, and they're trying so hard to keep everything back as they hit it. So sometimes that they'll end up in almost too much forward bend here. Their body's gonna be chasing forward because they're not letting themselves extend, okay? So extension is gonna make your finish look a little bit taller and a little bit more upright. I'm going to show you a super simple drill to help you understand ways to do this, to me, in an effective way to help you extend without, I would say, losing too much space. I think is a better way to put it than early extending. Okay, so keep that in mind. I'm going to show you that drill and then we'll talk about some of the key points of it. Okay, for the drill, this is a 10-pound medicine ball. This idea was shown to me by one of my buddies who is at the Vault Performance, not too far from here. I'm lucky I get to work with those guys a lot. They are the best, okay? So when it comes to understanding how the body moves and what's important, those guys are the best to me, and I use a lot of their stuff when I'm talking about how the body moves in the swing. Okay, when we're looking at this drill, so what we're thinking about, or what I'm thinking about when I'm explaining it to someone, okay? So this is, first I'm gonna create a little bit of compression. I'm pushing into this ball, okay? So what that's doing is that's activating a lot of things in my body when I'm doing this, okay? So I'm pushing into the ball. As I come in, if I did a bad job of what people would say would be early extension, I'd look like this, okay? So that's me. To me, I'm losing space as I come in. My right hip is sort of invading, and now I'm jammed up. I'm gonna have a tough time hitting it. The way I want you to think about this, if I move the ball back a little, the way I want you to think about this, so I'm squeezing the ball. So as I come down, if I'm able, so this is, the early extension is the afterthought of other things that happen in the swing. But if I set myself up where I have room, so as I'm starting in, okay, so I have enough space here where I'm lowered and I'm separated here, okay? So from here, I can start to move this ball by driving my feet up, but I'm squeezing into the ball. So what that's doing, when I squeeze into the ball, that's sort of activating this sort of front side of my body, sort of through my core and all those muscles around my core. So that's gonna stop sort of that motion. So right here, I don't feel anything sort of through my stomach, where if I'm squeezing the ball and then getting good space and then driving up, I definitely feel my hips, but I feel like this front part of my body stays a bit more controlled. So it's not as, if I look from this side, like I would say it's like my upper's here, my lower's here. So I've almost overdone that idea that I'm separated. Versus if my upper is down and I do the same thing and then drive up, you can see that the chest is gonna eventually move with my hips, right? It's not staying this way the whole time. So here, so I get to that good position here, and then as I drive up, I'm pushing and extending. And then if you look from this side, you can see when I fire up, I get nice and tall. I'm still in check when it comes to my sort of core. I'm not overextended this way. I've just pushed up and then created that nice finish position. So a lot of it is by the setup, so having enough space. So when I go to push and extend, I have enough room to continue to move through the shot versus this, right? So that chest is almost moving up and back. And now I've created no room versus chest sort of down and forward. Now I have lots of room, and then I can extend up from that position. So that is the feeling that I like to describe to people, to know that I can still extend. That's a huge power source in the golf swing. So do not turn off that extension piece. I would just make sure you identify which part you need to focus the most on. So I have some players where they need to learn how to get more space here. And then I have some players that just need to learn what's it like to extend up into that finish position because they've been trying to stop the extension piece of their swing. Okay, so keeping that in mind, I'm going to try to hit a couple with that same picture. So if I really isolate it, so I got nice room here, and then I'm pushing and I'm extending up, trying to get as tall as I can. Both hips are extended, and that's the feeling that I'm going to use when I hit this one. So that is, to me, a better way to think about extension and a way to help you get more energy and power in your swing. I don't want you turning power off or potential energy off. If you just reframe how you're thinking about it, I think it's going to help you a lot. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Have a great day.
If you are obsessed with this great game and want to be part of the club, make sure you check out theobsessedgolfclub.com and join the wait list.